So welcome to Jumbo IS and welcome to our lecture series called Daily MCQ Practice. In this lecture series, we cover a particular day's current affairs through a set of 4 to 5 MCQs. Now, the current affairs that we are going to be covering in this particular lecture would be 27th August 2024's current affairs, and we are going to be covering these current affairs through MCQs. Now, there are two objectives of this lecture series. Number one is that you are able to revise your current affairs. I'm sure you must have read 27th August 2024's newspaper, or if you have not read that day's newspaper, well, you would have watched our lecture, Daily News in Shorts, right? So you have covered this day's newspaper, but through this lecture, you'll be able to revise this lecture. Plus, the second more important objective of this lecture series is that you will get some MCQ practice, which is very important if you really want to cross or clear next year's prelims examination. Now, this lecture won't take more than 10 minutes of your time, but these 10 minutes on a daily basis, 4 to 5 MCQs on a daily basis, would cumulatively amount to more than 1200 MCQs in 1 year. So by the time you're ready for your next year's prelims examination, you would have covered 1200 MCQs from current affairs alone. 10 minutes every day, 5 MCQs every day is 1200 MCQs in 1 year, and that too from current affairs. So it's a very good, very important lecture series. All right? Okay, enough of the introduction. Let's straight away jump to our lecture. Let's straight away jump to our question. Question number 1. Consider the following statements regarding hoolock gibbon. This ape species is endemic to India, Bangladesh, Myanmar, and China. The western hoolock gibbon found in India is critically endangered as per IUCN Red List. They are known as the smallest and fastest of all apes. How many of the above statements are correct? Okay, so hoolock gibbon is an ape species and it is known as the smallest and the fastest of all apes. Okay, and they are quite smart also, very intelligent ape species. Now, this hoolock gibbon ape species is endemic to or is found in northeast India, Bangladesh, Myanmar, and southern China. So it is only in these four countries or the forests of these four countries hoolock gibbon is found. Okay, so first statement is correct. Now, in India, there are two types of hoolock gibbons: western hoolock gibbon, eastern hoolock gibbon. Now, eastern hoolock gibbon, the IUCN status of eastern hoolock gibbon is vulnerable, and the IUCN status of western hoolock gibbon is endangered. No hoolock gibbon is critically endangered, so this is false. They are known as the smallest and fastest of all apes. This is true. So only two statements are correct. The correct option is B. Question number 2. Consider the following regarding Security of Supply Arrangement, SOSA agreement. It is an agreement that enables countries to acquire industrial resources they need from one another to resolve unanticipated supply chain disruptions to meet national security needs. Okay. India is the 18th SOSA partner of USA. It is a legally binding agreement between India and USA. Okay. Now, recently, a defense agreement called Security of Supply Arrangement was signed between India and USA. Under this agreement, both countries would help each other in terms of supply chain shortages when it comes to defense equipment. Okay. So, first statement is correct. Now, USA has SOSA agreement with 17 other countries, and India became the 18th SOSA partner. So, this is also correct. Also, remember, this agreement is non-binding. Non-binding in nature. Okay, just remember this fact. So this is false. 1 and 2 only. All right. Question number 3. Consider the following statements regarding India-Singapore diplomatic relations. Diplomatic relationship between the two countries got established in 1965. The first India-Singapore ministerial roundtable was held in 2022 in Singapore. Both India and Singapore are strategic partners. Okay. Now, recently, second India-Singapore ministerial roundtable was held. The second India-Singapore ministerial roundtable was held in Singapore. Okay? All right? But the first roundtable was held in New Delhi. It was held in 2022, but it was held in New Delhi, not Singapore. Okay? Now, diplomatic relations were established in 1965. India and Singapore established diplomatic relations in 1965, and 2025 would mark the 60th anniversary of that relationship. So, this is correct. Both India and Singapore are strategic partners. This is absolutely correct. 1 and 3 only. Option is C. Question number 4. Which of the following is our correct regarding poliomyelitis? India got the polio-free status in 2014. Polio virus spreads through the fecal-oral route and it affects the nervous system. Vaccine-derived polio largely spreads through oral polio vaccine. Okay. Now, poliomyelitis is a viral disease which affects the nervous system. This is correct. And it generally affects under 5 children, under the age of 5. And it sometimes, in severe cases, it leads to paralysis by affecting your nervous system. Okay. Now, India was suffering from polio, and that's why polio vaccination drive was taken up on a big scale. Okay, but the last polio case was in 2011 in India. I'm talking about India. The last polio case was in 2011 in Howrah district of West Bengal. And WHO's condition is that you will be declared polio free only if your last case, or only if 3 years have passed without a case after your last case. Okay, so India's last case was 2011. India had to wait for 3 years without a case to get the polio free status. So India got the polio free status in 2014. So this is correct. Polio virus spreads through fecal oral route. This is absolutely correct, and it affects the nervous system. Yes. Now, India right now, why this was in news? Because a boy in Meghalaya, two-year-old in Meghalaya, got polio virus. And this was vaccine-derived polio, not wild polio virus. Now, vaccine-derived polio spreads through or is derived from oral polio vaccine. Look, there are two types of polio vaccines. Oral polio vaccine, injectable polio vaccine. In oral polio vaccine, the polio virus is inserted into your body, but that virus is weakened. In IPV, virus is inserted into your body, but that virus is dead. Now, through OPV, oral polio vaccine, sometimes vaccine-derived polio virus gets generated and it spreads. And that's what happened in Meghalaya. Okay, so this is also correct. All options are correct. The answer is D. And last question. Consider the following regarding Unified Lending Interface. It is a public tech platform for frictionless credit delivery. It was launched along with UPI by National Payment Corporation of India in 2016. Okay. Now, recently, RBI Governor has said that they will launch Unified Lending Interface, a public tech platform for getting loans. Okay, all banks would be on this platform, all customers would be on this platform. And RBI Governor said that we will launch ULI much like we launched UPI in 2016. Like UPI enabled retail payments in a very easy form. Okay, it simplified retail payments. Similarly, ULI would simplify getting credit. Okay, but they said that they will launch ULI in future. It wasn't launched in 2016 along with UPI. Okay, so this is false. This is correct. Only one. All right. So we are done with 5 questions, and with that, we conclude today's session. Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and I hope it added value to your preparation, though it would add more value if you're regular and consistent with this lecture series. So on that note, I'll be signing off. Thank you so much, everyone, and I'll see you next time with next day's current affairs through MCQs. Thank you.